They called her worthless. They called her weak. They called her the Omega no wolf wanted. The girl born at the bottom and destined to die there. They stole her future. They stole her pride. They stole the mate bond she never even got to feel. And when they cast her out as a joke, as entertainment, as a warning to the other Omegas, she did not break. She burned. Because beyond the borders of the pack, beyond the lands ruled by wolves, beyond the reach of those who thought they owned her life, something ancient waited. And when it rose to claim her, the wolves who once spat at her feet learned. No one fears an Omega until she becomes their queen. Before we continue, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and comment below. Omega or Alpha, who deserves the throne? Your engagement boosts the story so the algorithm shows it to more viewers. Now, step into the rise of a queen. Omegas were born at the bottom. That was the law of the Blood Moon Pack. The law carved into every pup's mind from the moment they opened their eyes. Alina Frost had learned that lesson early. She fetched water. She scrubbed floors. She bent her head when others lifted theirs. She worked in silence and swallowed humiliation like it was air. But she never cried. Not where anyone could see. Everyone believed the goddess had forgotten her. That her wolf was weak. That her scent, soft and barely noticeable, proved she was destined for nothing. But fate has a habit of hiding queens inside the bodies of girls no one guards. Alina's wolf was not weak. It was waiting. And the night they tried to break her. The night they mocked her in front of the entire pack. The night the Alpha's son spat the words, "I'd rather die than claim an Omega like her." That was the night her story began. Not the night it ended. Because the land beyond Blood Moon held a power wolves had abandoned long ago. A power that did not care about rank or scent or birthright. A power that recognized one thing. Fire. And Alina carried more of it than anyone had ever noticed. Until it ignited. Tilde 1200 plus words, humiliation arc, rejection beat, power seed. The Blood Moon Pack yard glowed orange with torchlight as wolves gathered in a circle, laughing, whispering, waiting for the evening's entertainment. The entertainment was Alina. She stood alone in the center of the ring, clutching the frayed apron she hadn't had time to remove after the Alpha's mate ordered her to clean the training hall, again. Her hands smelled of soap and stone. Her hair clung damply to her neck. Her heartbeat thudded too loud. The whispers cut deeper than claws. Omega trash. She should be grateful anyone even looks at her. Can't believe she thought she had a mate. What was she thinking? Alina kept her chin up. Not high enough to show defiance. Not low enough to show surrender. Just enough to survive. The Alpha's son, Roran Blackwell, stood in front of her, tall, silver-haired, every inch the future Alpha he believed himself to be. 3 girls clung to him like ornaments. He smirked at Alina. "So," he drawled, "someone said you thought I might be your mate." The crowd burst into cackles. Alina's throat tightened. She hadn't told anyone. She had barely let herself think it. But Omegas were easy targets. And someone must have overheard her talking to her only friend, Myra. Alina forced her voice steady. "It was just a feeling. A mistake. A mistake." Roran stepped closer, circling her like a wolf circling prey. "You thought the Alpha's heir would ever be bound to you?" Alina didn't answer. Because any answer would be wrong. "Look at you," Roran scoffed. He lifted her chin with one finger, making her flinch though she refused to step back. "You barely have a scent. Your wolf can't even stand up straight inside you. You were born to serve." Something inside Alina twisted. Not broke. Twisted. Roran continued, raising his voice. Let the pack see this clearly, an Omega like you will never stand beside an Alpha. You were born at the bottom and you'll die at the bottom. The crowd murmured, pleased. Alina swallowed, her eyes stinging. I never claimed you, she whispered. I never asked for anything. Liar. He sneered. You thought the mate bond would save you. You thought destiny owed you something. Her fists clenched. She had thought that, once. Warren leaned closer. For the record, he said, voice low enough only she could hear. If the goddess herself ordered me to take you, I'd reject you. His words hit like a blade. Alina swayed. The crowd sensed weakness and pushed in, taunts rising, laughter swelling, the ring tightening. And then Warren turned his back on her. I, Warren Blackwell, he announced loudly, reject any mate bond the goddess might have tied to this Omega. A cold pulse shot through the air. Even the goddess heard that oath. A rejection spoken publicly had consequences. Usually for the one rejected. But the earth beneath Alina's feet shifted. No one noticed. Not yet. But the magic did. Alina's wolf whimpered inside her chest, hurt, humiliated, confused. A wave of dizziness rolled through her, and for a moment her knees buckled. Warren snorted. Pathetic. His friends laughed. The Alpha looked away, uninterested. The Luna pinched her nose, as if the sight offended her. And the pack dispersed, leaving Alina standing alone in the torchlight. Her humiliation complete. Her heart in pieces. Her future gone. But as she turned to leave, something strange happened. The ground pulsed. She froze. A second pulse. Like a heartbeat. Her heartbeat. A whisper brushed along her cheek, too warm to be wind. Come. Alina stiffened. Another whisper. Rise. Her breath caught. The torches flickered violently, shadows stretching unnaturally across the yard. Alina looked around. No wolf had noticed. But something beneath the soil had awakened at the exact moment of her rejection. A soft glow pulsed under her feet, disappearing just as quickly. Alina swallowed hard. What was that? Her wolf trembled, not in fear. In recognition. She had been rejected by a future Alpha. But something older than wolves had just reached for her hand. And it wasn't done. Because when she stepped out of the packyard and crossed the border to return to the Omega quarters, the earth whispered again. This time, like a promise. Your kingdom does not begin where you were born. It begins where they stop looking. Alina froze. Her breath fogged the air. Behind her, Warren's cruel laughter still echoed. But ahead, beyond the pack borders, the dark land rose like a sleeping beast waiting for her next step. A place where wolves never went. A place whispered in stories. A place called the Ashen Vale. And when Alina's foot crossed its boundary, the land itself stirred. As if bowing. The boundary of the Ashen Vale wasn't marked on any map. It didn't need to be. Every wolf knew where safety ended. Where stories began. Where death lived. The air changed first. Cold. Still. Heavy like a warning. Alina stood at the edge of the veil, her breath trembling visibly in the sudden drop of temperature. The soil just beyond the line was darker, richer, almost metallic in color. Trees twisted overhead like enormous, ancient serpents frozen mid-coil. Her wolf pressed forward in her chest, wide-eyed and silent. Not afraid. Alert. Why am I here? Alina whispered. She expected no answer. She got one. Because you were never meant to kneel. Alina's heart slammed against her ribs. Who's there? The forest exhaled. But not like the ancient forest of your previous story. This breath was colder. Sharper. Less forgiving. A wind brushed past her ear, carrying a voice layered like old echoes. Walk forward, little wolf. Alina hesitated. I shouldn't. Wolves don't survive here. You are not like them. She swallowed. Her pack had spent years reminding her she was less. Yet this place spoke as if she were other. More. Alina stepped over the line. The world shifted. Not visibly. But internally, like something ancient had just opened its eyes beneath the soil. The temperature dropped again, then steadied. Her skin prickled. Her wolf stretched inside her as though she'd been sleeping all her life and only just now took her first breath. Alina gasped. What is this feeling? Recognition, the veil answered. The trees groaned softly, leaning toward her. The ground beneath her vibrated, a deep hum she felt more than heard. Alina's voice trembled. What are you? Old, the veil whispered. Older than wolves. Older than the moon. Older than pack law and alpha crowns. She hugged her arms around herself. Anne, why would something so old notice me? The wind circled her gently. Because queens are not born, they are forged. Alina's breath hitched. I'm not. Not yet, the veil corrected. But you will be. The path narrowed, branches twisting overhead until only streaks of silver moonlight leaked through. Alina's footsteps echoed with a strange resonance, like the ground mimicked her rhythm. She walked deeper. With each step, the whispers grew louder. Omega, broken, rejected, you were never theirs, you were never meant to stay caged. The voices shifted tone. From soothing. To testing. To cutting. Her wolf whimpered once, but Alina pushed forward. Is this a trick? She whispered. Are you trying to scare me? The veil laughed softly. You do not know fear yet, little wolf. The shadows thickened until they moved. Curling, twisting, forming shapes too large, too wrong to be animals. Alina staggered back. Eyes opened in the dark. Hundreds. Blinking. Watching. Her wolf growled faintly. Alina swallowed hard. I won't run. The veil approved. The eyes vanished instantly. Good, it whispered. Courage is the bone of every ruler. The trees parted to reveal a pool of black water. So smooth it reflected not the sky, but the void. Alina stepped closer. Am I supposed to look into it? See yourself, the veil urged. She knelt and gazed into the water. Her reflection stared back. Small. Fragile. Eyes too soft. Skin bruised from years of labor. The posture of someone trained to make herself invisible. But then, the reflection changed. Her eyes glowed faintly gold. Her back straightened. Her hair whipped in an unseen wind. Her wolf unfurled behind her, massive, silver-edged, ethereal. Alina jerked back. That's not me. It is, the veil murmured. The version the world stole from you. Alina touched her chest. I don't feel strong. Strength is not a feeling. It is a choice. She closed her eyes. But what if I fail? Then you rise again, the veil said simply. Queens do not exist because the world is kind. They exist because they refuse to stay on their knees. Alina inhaled deeply. Her doubts didn't vanish. But they sharpened into determination. The earth cracked. A circle of stone burst from the soil. Ash. Soot. Sparks rising into the sky. Alina shielded her eyes. What now? Touch the flame. A pillar of white fire erupted in the center of the stone ring. Cold fire, not hot. swirling like a living creature. Alina stepped closer. I'll burn. You will rise. The flame leaned toward her, sensing her fear. Alina reached out. Her fingers touched fire. Pain shot through her, sharp, clean, electric. Her knees buckled. Her breath hitched. But she didn't pull away. She held firm. The flame surged up her arm, wrapping around her, pulling a scream from her throat. Then it extinguished, leaving only steam swirling around her body. Her arms glowed faintly with molten marks. Not burns. Sigils. Her wolf howled inside her, powerful and alive. The veil whispered. Now you are ready. Alina blinked. For what? The ground rumbled. The trees bent. The soil split, revealing a massive throne of obsidian roots rising from the earth, carved with ancient runes. Alina stumbled back. A throne? Yes. For who? The veil's voice deepened until the air vibrated. For the Omega who will become the Alpha Queen. Alina shook her head, breath trembling. I don't understand, why me? Why not someone strong? Someone fearless? Someone born with power? The forest howled through the branches. Because strength is born from scarcity, courage from suffering, power from the broken. Queens are forged from fire, and you touched the flame and did not fall. Alina's heart pounded violently. But how can I rule wolves? I'm just. Never say, just, again, the veil snapped. That word is how they kept you small. Alina fell silent. The veil continued, softer now. You are not Roran's reject, you are not Bloodmoon's Omega, you are not what they named you. You are what you choose to become. The throne pulsed, waiting. Alina took a step forward. Her wolf rose behind her, massive and luminous. The veil whispered one final promise. If you claim this throne, the Pax will one day kneel. Even the Alpha who scorned you. Alina swallowed hard. Then she stepped toward the throne. The air trembled. A queen's ascension had begun. The throne of obsidian roots towered before her. Massive, carved with runes older than any pack. Alive with dormant power. The air thickened around her. Every breath tasted like metal and ash. Heat radiated from the stone, pulsing like a heartbeat. Her heartbeat. Alina stood before it trembling. Not from fear. But from something deeper. Recognition. Her wolf pushed forward in her chest, ears pricked, tail raised high, posture proud in a way Alina had never felt before. The veil whispered. Sit, little wolf. Alina's throat went dry. Once I sit, there's no going back, is there? No throne chooses twice. She swallowed. She thought of Roran's mocking eyes. The Luna's disdain. The Pack's laughter. Her years of silence and servitude. Her mother's gentle voice telling her she was meant for more. A voice Alina had stopped believing long before she stopped hoping. Slowly, she reached out and placed one hand on the armrest. It was warm. Alive. The moment her fingers touched the stone, golden cracks rippled outward. Like lightning trapped in rock. The veil shuddered. You will change, it murmured. The throne does not crown. It consumes, rewrites, remakes. Alina withdrew her hand slightly, breath shaking. Will it hurt? The wind curled around her hair, cold and soft. All rebirth does. Alina squared her shoulders. Pain had always shaped her life. But this time, it would shape her into something more. She stepped forward and Saturday. The instant her body touched the throne. Everything ignited. Power surged upward like a geyser. The roots beneath the throne snapped to life, wrapping around her arms and legs, not trapping, but anchoring. Her spine arched violently. Her head tilted back. Her mouth opened in a raw gasp. Alina's vision exploded with white. Her wolf roared inside her chest. A sound so loud she felt it in her bones. She was no longer sitting. She was floating. Suspended above the throne. A cyclone of ash and golden flame spiraled around her, tearing leaves from trees miles away. Lightning crackled across the sky despite no storm. The veil whispered. "Rise, Omega." Her body convulsed. The runes beneath her glowed brighter, spreading, climbing up her legs like molten vines. Pain lanced through her abdomen. Then her chest. Then her throat. As if invisible hands were carving an ancient crest beneath her skin. Alina screamed. Not in weakness. Not in fear. In power breaking its way out. Her veins glowed gold. Her eyes snapped open. Blazing the color of wildfire. Her wolf surged forward, larger, fiercer, more primal than any she'd ever imagined. The forest trembled. A shockwave blasted outward, flattening the grass in a perfect circle around the throne. Alina gasped as the last surge of magic slammed into her, filling every corner of her body until she felt too full to exist. The veil whispered. Good, very good. Her feet touched the ground again. Gently. Softly. As though she weighed nothing. The vines unwrapped. The light dimmed. And Alina stood before the throne transformed. Her posture straight. Her aura towering. Her presence commanding. She lifted her hand slowly. Golden sparks danced across her fingertips. Her reflection shimmered faintly in the obsidian surface. Eyes glowing like molten gold. Hair slightly wind-tossed with static. Pulse steady and strong. The mark of the Ashen Queen glowed on her wrist. A sigil shaped like a rising flame. Alina inhaled. She did not feel like an Omega. She felt like a storm pretending to be a girl. The veil whispered. You are ours now, Alina Frost. She turned toward the voice. Will the Pax fear me? The veil laughed, soft, amused, dangerous. They already do. Far beyond the veil, in the safety of Blood Moon Pack territory, wolves stirred in their dens. A tremor rolled through the earth. Subtle but undeniable. Pups whimpered. Warriors froze mid-training. The alpha stiffened as a cold dread wrapped around his spine. Roran, still smug from humiliating Alina, felt a sudden jolt in his chest. Something inside him recoiled, like his wolf had tasted poison. He scowled, shaking it off. It's nothing. But his wolf growled softly. Not nothing. Something dangerous. Something ancient. The Luna approached him, brow furrowed. Did you feel that? Roran shrugged, forcing bravado. The earth shifts sometimes. It's natural. But the alpha's voice was low. No. That was no natural shift. He turned toward the direction of the veil. It came from the Forbidden Lands. Elders gathered behind him, whispering frantically. Something woke. No wolf should go there. Could it be the old legends? No. Impossible. What if we angered something? With what? Perhaps, the rejection ritual. Impossible. Unless. All eyes slid toward Roran. He frowned. What are you staring at me for? One elder swallowed. You rejected an Omega tonight, in front of the pack, during a moon hour. So? And the ground shook. Roran scoffed. You think the goddess cares about some useless Omega? The ground rumbled again. Louder. Roran's eyes widened. That wasn't me. No one believed him. Alina placed both hands on the throne, feeling warmth pulse through her palms. She wasn't overwhelmed. She wasn't confused. She wasn't afraid. She was awake. "What now?" she whispered. The veil answered immediately. "Now, little wolf, you learn to rule." Alina's pulse quickened. "Rule what?" The earth cracked open beneath the throne. Dozens of creatures emerged. Wolves of shadow and ash. Eyes glowing silver. Larger and more ethereal than any pack-born wolf. They bowed. Not deeply, but reverently. To her. One stepped forward, its gaze steady and intelligent. It spoke. Not in words. In thoughts. "We serve the one chosen by the flame." Alina swallowed hard. "The flame chose me." The pack of veil wolves lowered their heads. "You are Alpha." The words struck her harder than Warren's rejection ever had. Her throat tightened. "I've never led anyone. But you will." "I've never been strong. But you are." "I've never been wanted." The largest veil wolf approached, touching its nose gently to her hand. "You are wanted. You are needed. You are ours." Alina's eyes burned, not from pain, but from the quiet breaking of something old and bitter inside her. The veil whispered. "And soon, the living packs will learn your name." Alina's lips parted. "What name?" Golden fire flared behind her eyes. The veil answered. "Alpha Queen Alina." A sound rumbled through the veil. A deep, resonant howl. Not from wolves. From the land itself. The veil wolves raised their heads. Alina felt the sound vibrate through her ribcage, her bones, her wolf. "What is it?" she asked. The lead veil wolf replied. "The packs felt your awakening. They will come looking, let them see what their Omega has become." Alina stepped onto a rising root, letting it lift her higher, surveying the shadowed land before her. She was no longer hiding. She was preparing. The veil whispered. "When the wolves enter these lands, the throne will test them." Alina exhaled, steady and calm. "Then let them come." Because this time, she would not kneel. Night hit the ashen veil differently. Not darker. Deeper. The shadows seemed thicker, like velvet layered on velvet. The air carried a metallic hum, vibrating faintly with the magic that had ignited the moment Alina claimed the throne. She stood atop the obsidian rise, veil wolves forming a semicircle behind her. The moon, normally pale, glowed red through the fog as if witnessing her ascension. Her heart was steady. Her breathing calm. Her wolf, once quiet, once timid, now prowled inside her like a caged goddess. The veil whispered. "They are coming." And they were. 3 blood moon warriors sprinted through the border, snarling as the scent of ash filled their lungs. Warren was at the head. He was not searching for her out of guilt. He was searching because something about that quake rattled him in a way he refused to admit. His wolf had been restless for hours, pacing, whining, not in fear. In warning. Yet Warren ignored his instincts, choosing arrogance over intuition. "What's that light?" one warrior whispered. They paused. The veil glowed faintly ahead, stones pulsing, trees trembling, embers rising like fireflies. Warren snorted. "Tricks of the forest." Another wolf pointed toward the massive crack in the earth where the throne chamber lay hidden. "I don't like this, it feels wrong." "Everything here is wrong," Warren snapped. "So stay close." He took another step, and the ground shuddered. The warriors froze. The veil wolves watched them from shadows, eyes reflecting the moon like molten silver. One warrior whispered nervously. "Alpha's gonna kill us for entering." "We're not going back empty-handed," Warren hissed. "I want that Omega found. She's probably begging for help somewhere." He smirked. "She'll crawl back soon enough." The veil rustled with amusement. "Crawl, it echoed mockingly, voice drifting through the trees. Your Omega does not crawl. The wolves spun around, fur bristling. Who said that? The forest laughed softly. You'll see. Warren swallowed, but forced a confident stride forward. Show yourself. Branches parted. Earth rose. Light sparked. And Alina stepped into view. She did not look like the Omega they mocked. She stood taller. Stronger. Her posture carried authority without effort. Her hair fell in waves touched with gold light. Her skin glowed faintly with the crest beneath it. The flame mark on her wrist pulsed like a heartbeat. Her eyes. Not brown. Not soft. Golden. Vibrant. Alpha bright. Warren's breath caught. Alina. He said her name like a curse he suddenly feared. Her wolf pushed forward, fur rippling beneath her skin, radiating dominance so strong the Blood Moon warriors involuntarily bowed their heads before they realized they were doing it. One stammered. No, impossible. Omegas don't have alpha aura. Alina descended the obsidian step toward them. The earth obeyed her stride, flattening beneath her feet. She stopped 5 paces from Warren. Her voice was soft. Too soft. You were looking for me. Warren's throat bobbed. Yes. You wished to see me crawl. Warren flinched as if slapped. I didn't mean. Yes, Alina said. You did. Silence swallowed the space between them. The Veil Wolves stepped forward into the torch glow. The warriors recoiled. What are those? Warren's voice shook. Those are not wolves. They are mine, Alina said simply. Her alpha aura rolled outward like a storm front. The air thickened. Warren's wolf shrank back in instinctive submission. Warren clenched his jaw, resisting. You're not an alpha, he spat. You're a mistake of the goddess. You're nothing. The ground cracked beneath his feet. Alina's eyes blazed. Say it again. Warren tried. He opened his mouth. But no sound came out. His wolf refused to speak. Alina stepped closer, tilting her head calmly. You see, Warren. Here, in the Veil. Your rank means nothing. Warren trembled. Alina's aura pressed harder. You wanted to witness humiliation. Her voice deepened, layered with the Veil's vibration. You wanted entertainment. Alina's power flooded the air. Now it was Warren who trembled. Now it was Warren who struggled to breathe. Now it was Warren who knelt. His knees hit the soil. Not because he chose to. Because his wolf could not stay standing in her presence. Warren's warriors gasped. Alpha. I can't move, Warren choked. And Alina just watched. Not cruel. Not mocking. Simply reclaiming what was taken. She nodded once. You hurt me, she said quietly. For no reason. Because you could. Warren's face was pale. Alina. I was wrong. A Veil Wolf stepped beside her, massive and silent. Alina laid a hand on its head. Do you know why Omegas suffer the most, Warren? He swallowed thickly. Because wolves like you, Alina answered, are terrified of the day we stop kneeling. The earth pulsed. Her aura sharpened. And every bloodborne wolf felt it. Warren tried to rise. Tried to reclaim some sliver of dominance. But his muscles betrayed him, shaking uncontrollably. Please, he gasped. Alina, She stepped closer. So close he could see the glow in her irises. You rejected something you didn't understand. Warren's breath hitched. And now, she whispered. The Veil rejects you. The roots sprang from the soil, wrapping around Roran's wrists. Not painfully, but with iron certainty. Roran's warriors backed away. Alina, what are you doing? Alina looked at them calmly. I'm offering mercy. Roran stared up at her, trembling. Mercy? Yes, she said. Because the Veil wanted your blood. Roran flinched. Alina touched the root gently. But I said no. The Veil wolves bowed their heads to her. Roran had never looked so small. Or so afraid. Leave, Alina said softly. Tell the Alpha I am not lost. Tell the Luna the Omega they scorned has risen. Her wolf flared inside her, radiant and fierce. Tell the pack, she finished. Their queen is no longer theirs to break. Roran stumbled backward as the roots released him. He scrambled to his feet, face pale, breath shaking. He ran. His warriors ran after him. The Veil wolves watched them go, silent and satisfied. Alina stood alone again in the center of the shadow-lit clearing. But this time, she felt no loneliness. No grief. No longing. She felt power. Authority. Destiny. The Veil whispered proudly. You chose balance, now choose direction. Alina looked toward the horizon where Blood Moon territory lay. Her eyes sharpened. I won't wage war, she whispered. The Veil hummed approval. But I will not hide. And the throne behind her pulsed, as if acknowledging its queen's first decree. Roran ran harder than he ever had in his life. Branches snapped against his arms. Roots clawed at his boots. His wolf whimpered, hating the fear, hating the retreat, but unable to fight it. By the time he burst out of the Veil and into Blood Moon territory, he was shaking so violently his two warriors had to hold him upright. The Alpha and Luna were already waiting. They had felt the tremors. They had felt the pulse of power. They had felt, though none wanted to admit it, the Veil reject something inside them. What did you see? The Alpha demanded. Roran tried to speak but no sound came. The Luna stepped closer, eyes narrowing. Where is the Omega? Roran's throat worked. She. He swallowed, voice shaking. She's not an Omega anymore. The Alpha stiffened. What do you mean? Roran lifted trembling hands. She has followers. Wolves made of ash and shadow. She made me kneel, father. A gasp rippled through the gathered wolves. The Luna scoffed coldly. Impossible. Alina cannot command wolves. She barely commanded her own breath. Roran snapped, voice almost hysterical. I'm telling you, she changed. The Veil chose her. She's something else. The Alpha stepped forward and gripped Roran's shoulder. Show me where. Roran's eyes widened in horror. No. Father, you can't. I will. The Alpha's tone was iron. The Luna turned to the warriors. Gather 20. We will retrieve the girl and kill whatever creatures stand with her. The Veil has always been a threat. Roran stumbled back. No. You can't kill her, he shouted. Every head turned. Even he looked shocked by his outburst. The Luna narrowed her gaze. So you do feel something for her? Roran looked away. It's not that. It's she. He swallowed hard. She's no longer someone you can kill. 20 elite Blood Moon warriors marched behind the Alpha, weapons drawn, fur bristling. The Luna followed, chin raised in disdain. Upon crossing the Veil border, the air shifted. It grew colder. Thicker. Alive. Wolves shivered. This place, it's wrong. This magic, what is it? Something ancient woke. The Alpha pushed forward. We do not fear forest tricks. Stay alert. But the moment he took another step, the ground rumbled. A pulse swept across the earth. A warning. The veil acknowledged his presence and rejected it. Roots curled up from the soil, not attacking. Positioning. Forming a path. A forced one. Warren whispered. They're guiding us. No, the Luna answered, voice thin. They're controlling you. Even the Alpha felt it. The sense of walking into a judgment. Still, he pressed on. The path opened into a clearing. And there she stood. Alina. But not the girl they remembered. She stood in front of the obsidian throne, veil wolves gathered around her like silent sentinels. The air bent around her. Her aura throbbed like a second heartbeat. Her eyes glowed with molten gold that saw straight through them. The Alpha halted instantly. He knew dominance. He was dominance. But this was something older than wolf hierarchy. Something he could not outrank. His wolf whimpered at the sight of her. Warren dropped to one knee before he realized he had done so. The Luna's lip curled in outrage. Get up, she hissed. All of you, she's nothing but an Omega wearing a trick. Alina stepped down from the throne. Her voice cut clean through the air. I am nothing you named me. She walked closer, and every warrior stiffened, not because she threatened them, but because her presence demanded respect. The Alpha forced himself to stand straighter. What happened to you? He asked, trying to sound authoritative. Alina's expression remained unreadable. You happened, she said softly. You and your pack. Your laws. Your cruelty. The Alpha's jaw tightened. We were within our rights. Omegas serve. They do not lead. A veil wolf growled, low and warning. Alina held up her hand, it instantly silenced. You speak of rights, she said quietly. But what of dignity? What of mercy? What of the mate bond your son rejected not once, but twice? Whispers broke behind the Alpha. The Luna stepped forward, voice sharp. We do not answer to you. Alina met her gaze. You don't answer to me. You answer to what I command. The earth cracked under her next step. Veil wolves lowered their heads. Blood moon wolves gasped as their legs trembled, not in fear, but in instinctive submission. The Alpha growled, pushing his aura outward, but it collided with Alina's power like a wave crashing against a mountain. He staggered. Alina did not move. Impossible, the Luna whispered. Alina tilted her head slightly. You came here to drag me home. To kill the threat, the Alpha corrected. A deadly silence fell. Then Alina smiled. Not sweet. Not cruel. Certain. Then attack, she said. Let the goddess watch what becomes of wolves who hunt their queen. The Blood Moon warriors hesitated. Everything inside them screamed no. The Alpha lunged first. Out of desperation. Out of pride. Out of blindness. Alina raised a hand. Roots erupted from the ground, slamming into his chest and pinning him to a tree without breaking skin. He struggled. He could not break free. The Luna gasped. How are you doing this? Alina's voice deepened with the veil. I do not take orders from Alphas. She stepped closer to him, her eyes piercing into him. I take them from destiny. The Alpha snarled. You're one girl, one powerless. Alina didn't let him finish. She touched her fingers lightly to his forehead. Golden flame sparked beneath his skin, revealing flashes of his memories. Ordering Alina to labor in the cold. Approving punishments. Ignoring humiliation. Laughing at her pain. He jerked back, breath ragged. Alina whispered. You forgot I have a wolf. The forest stirred behind her. But you never imagined I'd become one. The Luna tried one last time to step forward, claws extended. Enough. You are an Omega. You will kneel before your owl. She hit the ground before she finished the word. Not because Alina touched her. Because her wolf did. A force of dominance so ancient the Luna's wolf collapsed involuntarily, groaning in a voice half human, half feral. Alina approached her slowly. When you forced me to kneel, she said softly. You believed rank was unchangeable. She raised her glowing hand. You were wrong. The Luna trembled. What do you want? She whispered. Alina reached out. And simply lifted the Luna's chin. Her voice was calm. Her gaze steady. I don't want revenge, she said. I want justice. She turned toward the trembling Blood Moon warriors. Leave the veil. Tell your people the truth. Warren's voice finally broke. What truth? Alina's aura rose behind her like flame. That the Omega you scorned, she said, has risen higher than all of you. Her wolf howled, veil wolves echoing with a sound that shook the trees. The Alpha looked up at her in disbelief. What are you now? Alina's eyes glowed like molten gold. Everything you feared, she said. And everything the goddess saved me for. She pointed toward the border. Go. No one dared disobey. Wolves fled the veil with tails tucked low, eyes wide with fear, or an dawning realization. They had created their own downfall. By breaking the girl destined to rule them. The Blood Moon territory was in chaos. Warriors stumbled back from the veil screaming about ash wolves, glowing eyes, and an Omega who commanded the earth itself. Mothers hid their pups. Elders argued. The Alpha raged in humiliation. Rumors spread like wildfire. She pinned the Alpha without touching him. Her eyes glowed like the goddess. The veil bowed to her. The throne chose her. Fear grew. But fear often breeds something uglier. Resentment. By nightfall, over 100 Blood Moon wolves gathered at the border, weapons drawn, claws extended, their fury hotter than their fear. Warren tried to stop them. You cannot fight her. She's beyond us now. His father snarled. She is a threat. She must be contained or destroyed. The Luna's voice cut coldly through the murmurs. She made us kneel. She humiliated our bloodline. Do you want every pack in the Northern Dominion to hear we bowed to an Omega? A warrior stepped forward. She's not an Omega anymore. But she's not an Alpha, the Luna snapped. Warren stared into the veil, heart pounding, lungs tight. She's something higher, he whispered. But no one listened. The Alpha raised his hand. Prepare to march. The forest trembled in answer. Alina stood at the throne, watching the horizon pulse with torches and hostile auras. Her heart did not race. Her breath did not shake. Her wolf paced proudly beneath her skin. The veil wolves lined up beside her, silent and ready. The forest whispered. They come in numbers. I know. They come in hatred. I know. And you, little wolf. The veil's voice curled like smoke. What do you come with? Alina lifted her chin. Truth. A pause. And power. She breathed out slowly. Yes, she whispered. But not to destroy. The forest shuddered. Then we begin the test. The ground beneath the throne cracked open. Light spiraling upward like golden dust. Alina stepped forward, her mark blazing. And the veil opened its eyes. The Blood Moon warriors charged across the border. And stopped. Instantly. They couldn't move. Alina's aura crashed over them like a wave. Not violent, but vast. An authority so ancient their wolves choked on instinct alone. Warren gasped, dropping to one knee. It's her, she's controlling the earth again. The alpha snarled, pushing against the force, sweat beading his forehead. This is not wolf magic. This is something other. The Luna's eyes darted with fear. She is using a trick. She must be. The warriors strained to stand upright. Most couldn't. Some fell flat on their faces, whimpering as their wolves submitted to something far above their rank. Then they saw her. Alina descended the obsidian rise, light swirling around her like a living cloak. Her eyes glowed gold. Her pulse hummed through the soil. She moved like she was one breath away from becoming pure energy. A queen carved from fate. She stopped before the trembling pack. You wish to kill what you fear, she said softly. Her voice echoed across the entire forest. You wish to silence what you failed to control. The alpha forced out. You defied pack law. You attacked your alpha. I defended my life, Alina corrected. And the veil defended its queen. Gasps. Shifting pause. Fear turning to confusion, turning to awe. The Luna spat. You have no right to that title. Alina's aura sharpened. I didn't choose it, she said. It chose me. The ground beneath the blood moon pack began to glow. The same runes etched into Alina's skin. Wolves gasped. What is this? We're standing on a sacred crest. No wolf has activated this in centuries. Alina raised her hand. Silence fell so heavy it smothered the wind. You came to kill me, she said calmly. The pack flinched. But I will not kill you. The crest pulsed. Veil wolves stepped from the shadows, forming a circle around the clearing. Alina continued. You have lived in dominance. Her gold eyes lifted. But you have forgotten what leadership is. She stepped closer to the alpha. He couldn't move. You teach that omegas are weak, she said softly. But you need us. Our empathy. Our intuition. Our balance. Her voice hardened. Without us, packs rot. The alpha trembled, unable to meet her gaze. The Luna snarled. You are nothing but a cursed girl. Alina's aura slammed down. The Luna collapsed to her knees, gasping as the air crushed around her shoulders. Alina didn't touch her. Words carry weight, Alina murmured. Yours break under their own arrogance. She turned back to the pack. I am not your enemy. Her voice shifted. Deeper, layered with the magic of the veil. The enemy is your blindness. The warriors bowed their heads involuntarily. Warren lifted his face. Eyes wide, voice cracking. Alina, please. Alina's expression softened. He was the only one who didn't try to kill her. The only one whose voice shook not with pride, but remorse. Warren, she said slowly. You rejected me. Twice. But you were never my destiny. He closed his eyes. A tear slid down his cheek. I know. Alina stepped past him. Toward the alpha. Toward the Luna. Toward the trembling pack. The ground pulsed. Golden vines sprang up around the pack. Not to harm, but to separate. Leaders on one side. Warriors on the other. Warren stood alone in the middle. The veil whispered. Judge them. Alina inhaled. Then raised her hand. A soft, warm glow enveloped the warriors. They gasped as the pressure eased from their lungs. You are forgiven, she said. You followed orders. You knew no better. The glow deepened. And now you know. Veil wolves lowered their heads in approval. Alina turned to the Alpha and Luna. Her aura grew colder, sharper. You ruled with fear, with punishment, with cruelty disguised as tradition. She stepped closer. The Alpha shook. The Luna's eyes filled with dread. Alina spoke softly, the forest amplifying every syllable. You are unfit to lead. The crest beneath their feet flared. The Alpha screamed as roots wrapped around his wrists, pulling him to the ground, not painfully, but with absolute authority. The Luna tried to run. The forest closed around her. Both were held in place. Not killed. Not harmed. Only dethroned. The Alpha gasped. What are you doing? Alina lifted her chin. Something you never offered me. She extended a hand, and the magic eased slightly. A chance to change. Whispers exploded behind her. She spared them. She's merciful. She's stronger than any Alpha. She's a true queen. Alina turned to the pack. The veil has recognized your corruption, she said. And your imbalance. Her eyes glowed brighter. Now it recognizes something else. She spread her arms. Light erupted from the throne, swirling around her in a luminous vortex. The wolves shielded their eyes. The veil wolves howled. The runes carved into the earth lit up as one. The throne spoke. Not in whisper. In command. Rise, Alina Frost. Alpha Queen of the Veil. And rightful heir to the balance of all wolves. The ground thundered. Wolves fell to their knees. Even the Alpha. Even the Luna. Even Roran. Alina stood at the center of the blaze. Powerful. Unbroken. Chosen. The veil glowed brighter than any moonlight. The roots beneath the earth thrummed like a heartbeat. The runes lit the forest floor with gold. Wolves, blood moon, veilborn, warrior and humble alike, watched with trembling awe as Alina stood crowned in pure light. And still, the magic rose. It spiraled around her, lifting her gently off the ground. Her hair flowed behind her like a banner of dawn. The flame mark on her wrist expanded into a full crest stretching across her forearm, burning, alive, ancient. The veil itself proclaimed her. Alpha Queen. A queen not of land or lineage, but of balance. Of truth. Of the wolf spirit. The Alpha and Luna knelt. Not because they chose to, but because their wolves bowed for them. Alina's feet touched earth again. She exhaled slowly. The coronation of the Ashen Queen was complete. But destiny rarely gives peace without testing it. The wind shifted. The forest darkened. Shadows rippled at the edge of the clearing. The veil wolves growled, stepping forward. Alina felt it before she saw it. A foreign presence. A hateful one. A wolf without a pack. Without honor. Without a soul. A rogue. No. Not one rogue. An army. Dozens. Maybe hundreds. Their red eyes gleamed through the trees like embers burning in tar. Roran gasped. The rogues, how did they get this close? The borders. The Alpha snarled. They must have sensed the throne awakening. They've come to claim it. But Alina's eyes narrowed. No, she murmured. They came because they fear balance. They feed on chaos. I am everything they cannot control. A massive rogue stepped into the clearing. Scarred. Twisted. Aura warped by dark magic. He grinned, revealing jagged fangs. So this is the little Omega who stirred the entire Dominion. Alina stepped forward, veil wolves circling her protectively. I am not your concern, she said. The rogue laughed. You are exactly my concern. A new queen. A chosen throne. That threatens everything we built in the shadows. Warren's breath trembled. You can't defeat her. The rogue chuckled. Oh, boy. She is new. Untested. Her power is borrowed. When she falls, we take the veil. We take the dominion. We take every pack that ever cast wolves aside. Alina's voice sharpened. You speak as though you know suffering. But you chose corruption. Survival, the rogue corrected. Wolves like us aren't meant for packs. We're meant to rule the ruins left behind. He pointed a claw toward her. Kill her. Bring me her crest. And the rogues surged forward. Veil wolves exploded from the shadows with smoky forms and razor instincts. Blood Moon warriors formed ranks despite their fear, finally united behind a leader worth following. The clash erupted like lightning. Snarls. Cries. Magic. Claws colliding with bone. Alina stood at the center of the storm, eyes blazing, mark burning brighter with every heartbeat. A rogue lunged for her throat. She lifted her hand. A column of golden roots burst from the earth and flung him backward. Another rogue tried to slice her flank. She spun, flame leaving her fingertips, marking the ground with burning runes that detonated beneath his paws. Warren fought beside her, ferocious and relentless, his shame replaced by purpose. Alina, behind you. A massive rogue leapt. But the Veil Wolves intercepted him mid-air, tearing him away in a flurry of ashen teeth. The Luna fought too, breath shaking but determination clear. The Alpha growled beside her. You were right, he admitted between clashes. She was meant for this. No, the Luna whispered. She was meant for more, and we tried to shrink her. Alina didn't hear them. Her focus was on the corrupted rogue Alpha approaching through the chaos. He was enormous. Not natural. A wolf mutated by dark rituals forbidden for centuries. He bared his fangs. Your throne should have been mine. Alina stepped forward, aura flaring until the very air trembled. You were never chosen. Weak girl, he spat. You couldn't even shift without crying. Alina's eyes snapped open. Glowing like fire. My tears made me human, she said. My wolf makes me divine. The rogue Alpha lunged. Alina met him head-on. Her aura slammed into him like a blast wave. Golden energy surged from her mark, striking his chest with ancient force. He staggered. Snarled. Charged again. Alina raised both hands. The earth obeyed. Roots erupted from every direction, piercing the ground, curling around his legs, dragging him down. He growled, thrashing, snapping the bindings. You cannot hold me. Alina stepped closer. You are right. The roots tightened. I can. Her voice led with the veil's ancient tone. Flame surged beneath her skin. Her wolf roared inside her, a divine, thunderous sound. She raised her hand. And with a single, shattering pulse of golden magic, the rogue Alpha was thrown backward in a storm of ash and fire. His body hit the earth with a quake. He did not rise. The rogues froze. One by one they dropped. Submitted. Fled. Or fell to the earth as their corrupted bonds shattered. Silence collapsed over the clearing. Then, every wolf turned to face Alina. Breathing. Trembling. Awestruck. She was glowing. Radiant. Alive with the ancient magic that crowned her. Warren fell to one knee. So this is the queen the veil foretold. Blood Moon warriors bowed. Veil wolves lowered their heads. Even the Alpha knelt. The Luna followed, tears streaming. And Alina. She stood silent. Strong. Changed forever. Her wolf pressed against her chest, proud and calm. The veil spoke aloud through the trees. Balance restored, leader chosen, fear broken, the Dominion has its queen. The pack chanted softly. Alpha Queen. Alpha Queen. Alpha Queen. Warren lifted his gaze, voice cracking. Alina, what happens now? She turned toward the forest, where dawn was beginning to light the world with soft gold. Her eyes blazed. Her aura rose. Her reign began. And her voice carried like prophecy. Now. We rebuild everything they taught us to fear. The wind bowed. The wolves bowed. The veil bowed. Its chosen queen did not. And as the first light of morning touched her crest, the wolves understood, Alina was no longer the Omega they broke, she was the queen destiny had been waiting to unleash.